All right, let's just dive straight in. I mean, is there a bigger story right now than how AI is just completely tearing up the rule book for business and, work itself? It's moving so fast, it's almost dizzying. And let's be real, it's touching everything. And look, let's just be honest with each other. It is a lot to take in. If you're feeling that whiplash, right, that feeling of being torn between, wow, look at all these incredible possibilities, and oh man, what does this mean for my future? You're not alone. That mix of excitement and, yeah, deep anxiety, totally normal.
So that's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? In this little explainer, we're going to try to break it all down. We'll look at what's really going on here, using a simple framework to make sense of this, well, massive shift.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this, I want you to picture business as this huge game board, like Monopoly or something. For the last 100 years, more or less, we all knew the rules, we knew the pieces, we knew how to win. But AI? AI didn't just add a new piece to the game. No, it walked in, picked up the entire board, and just flipped it upside down. And before we can even begin to figure out how to play this new game, we've got to take a quick look back at the old one. The one that shaped everything about business until like 5 minutes ago. So yeah, this was pretty much the old playbook. At its heart, business was simple. You exchange value, you watch your competitors, and you play by the classic rules of economics, right? Supply and demand. You won by being cheaper or by being better. That's it. Pretty straightforward. And that's how the game was played for a century. Okay, now this table, this really nails the difference. Just look at the shift. We went from caring about physical stuff, factories, to intangible things like data. Growth isn't that slow, steady climb anymore. It's explosive. It's exponential. You know that old saying, big eats small? That's dead. Now it's fast eats slow. And making decisions based on your gut instinct? Nope. That's being replaced by algorithms crunching data. This isn't just a tweak, it's a total rewrite of the operating system. So what's the engine behind all this change? Let's be super clear. AI is not just another tool. It's not like getting a better spreadsheet or even the internet. Think of it as a brand new player showing up to the game, one who changes all the rules just by existing. Okay, if there's one thing to really get from this, it's this. We have to start thinking about AI as a whole new class of labor. I'm not talking about physical labor, but cognitive labor, the thinking work. It's like having a workforce that can write code, analyze a mountain of data, or spin up marketing ideas instantly, around the clock, and at a scale that's basically infinite. And that right there, that's the economic earthquake. For literally all of human history, intelligence was expensive. It took years to train a human brain. Now, AI is making the cost of doing a whole bunch of thinking tasks drop to almost zero. And in economics, when the cost of a key ingredient just collapses like that, the entire system has no choice but to completely reorganize itself around that new reality. So this big shift causes three huge changes right away. First, for us humans, our value isn't so much in doing the task anymore, but in being the strategist who tells the AI what to do. Second, businesses can now personalize things to an insane degree, like for every single customer. And third, the cost and effort to start a new company, it has absolutely plummeted. One person with the right AI tools can now do what used to take a whole team, or even a whole department. So the board is flipped. There's this powerful new player on the field, and now everybody is just scrambling. Individuals, entire companies, we're all desperately trying to figure out, okay, what's my next move? And the way people are reacting, well, it's pretty stark. You can almost see the split personality in all of us. On one hand, we love the convenience, right? The instant answers, the perfect recommendations, it's great. But on the other hand, there's this very real, deep-seated fear of, am I going to be replaced? Plus, we're all getting tired of all the deep fakes and AI spam. It's creating what you could call a trust deficit. And if you think the pressure's on us, for companies, it's a whole other level. And this one number, 40%, it really says it all. Just imagine your biggest competitor can do the exact same thing you do, but for 40% less on payroll because they've figured out AI. All of a sudden, adopting AI isn't a choice anymore. It's adapt or you die. It's honestly that simple. And the main way companies are reacting right now is by creating what people are calling the hollow middle. What does that mean? Well, they're flattening things out. They're keeping the top leaders to set the strategy, and they're hiring junior people to actually run the AIs. But that whole layer in between, the traditional middle managers whose job was to manage teams and summarize reports, a lot of those roles are just being automated away. And that's not just a small change. It's wiping out a whole rung on the traditional career ladder, and it's making a lot of people look around and ask, So, where do I go from here?
Okay, that was a lot of the disrupting, kind of scary stuff. But let's remember every single one of these big tech revolutions, as painful as they are at first, they always end up creating completely new types of work. So let's shift gears. Where are the opportunities? Where are the new jobs actually coming from?
All right, first up, jobs built on things that AI is just terrible at and honestly might never get right. I'm talking about real human emotion and trust. I mean, think about it. An AI has no feelings. It can't really feel its way through a tough negotiation, or give genuine comfort to someone, or actually inspire a team of people. Any job that needs that deep empathy, their value is going way, way up. Number two, AI needs a human co-pilot. Let's be real, it makes mistakes. It hallucinates, which is a nice way of saying it just makes stuff up with total confidence. It has no common sense. So we're seeing a boom in jobs for people who can guide it, steer it, and correct it. You've heard of prompt engineers, AI ethicists, data curators. These are the new roles. Your job isn't to know all the answers anymore. It's to know how to ask the perfect question. The third big area, the physical world. Look, AI is king in the digital world of screens and code. But getting a robot to work in the messy, chaotic, unpredictable real world, that is still incredibly hard. And that means the advanced trades. I'm talking about skilled electricians installing a complex solar grid or a specialist technician on a factory floor. Those jobs are becoming super valuable.
And last but not least, think about this. As our world gets flooded with AI-made articles, images, and music, what becomes rare and valuable? Authenticity. Knowing something was made by a real person. We're going to see a huge human premium pop up. People will absolutely pay more for a piece of furniture, a work of art, or a story they know came from human hands and human heart. Human-made is about to become a luxury brand.
Okay, so we've been through the disruption, the chaos, the new opportunities. Let's bring it all back home to you. What does all of this mean for your career? What's the one big idea you should be thinking about as you plan your next move? Here it is. This is probably the most important takeaway. Do not try to compete with AI on its home turf. Don't try to beat it at speed or memory or just crunching data. You will lose every single time. The only way to win is to not compete at all. Instead, you use AI as a tool to amplify what makes you human. It's not your replacement, it's your exoskeleton. It's there to boost your creativity, your strategy, and your empathy. And that really leaves us with one last question. A question for you. When you look at the road ahead, where do you see yourself fitting in? Do your skills and passions pull you toward the technical side, being the one who builds and directs these incredible AI systems? Or do you see yourself leaning hard into those uniquely human, high-empathy jobs that AI can help but can never, ever replace? Because it really feels like two main paths are opening up. The only question left is, which one are you going to take?